Before the year is over, it's UFC 168 on December 28th. UFC middleweight champ Chris Weidman will take his title defense against Anderson Silva in a rematch from July. Weidman won that bout 10-0-0 in his career. Here's John Anderson now with the champ.
It's nice. Everybody has a skill in life. Chris Weidman's is beating people up, which is good. It can get you a long way, that's for sure. UFC middleweight champion here on Sportscenter in advance of that rematch with Anderson Silva, December 28th. So just for the holidays, if I need somebody who needs a black eye, you can help me out?
It's no problem. Just for you, buddy.
Mine, or can I give that to other folks?
I don't know. I already got hit over the head today by a bottle. I'm pretty pissed off, so.
All right.
Better be careful.
I will do my best to, stay in line, that's for sure. All right. Guy who you gave a headache once, Anderson Silva, right? You knocked the guy out, widely considered the greatest UFC fighter of all time. That was back in July. In that fight, as you see here, he did some clowning around, some of the showboating. He took advantage of that. It's certainly entertaining, I think, until you get punched in the face. What do you expect from the opponent this time around?
That's kind of what he does. That was what he's done before I fought him. He does the clowning, and it makes you feel you don't belong in the cage with you, and then he knocks you out. But in my case, I knocked him out, so now it's like a fluke, and everybody's wondering if he's going to do it again. That's the way Anderson fights, so I expect him to do it again. If not, oh well, that's up to him. I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to go out there and implement my game plan.
So he looks to even the score, and you mentioned the word fluke. Is there extra pressure on you? I mean, do you feel that you have to go out and prove that to folks? That if I don't beat him twice, people are going to just dismiss the first one?
Yeah, I don't see it as pressure. I see it as motivation. It excites me to be able to go out there on this on the world stage against Anderson Silva that everybody thinks is unbeatable, and that it was a fluke. And for me to be able to actually show what I've been working on, so I'm excited to go out there and do that.
All right, let's talk about what you've been working on. What kind of game plan do you have? How much of the game plan can you let us in on before we, give away trade secrets?
Everything. I'll tell you right now.
All right, let's have it.
I'm moving forward. I'm putting pressure on him. I'm going to look to punch him in the face, kick him, whatever's there. And then as soon as he's not expecting it, I'm going to be looking for that takedown. Once I'm on top, I'll be looking for the submission.
Glad it's him, not me. I imagine holding the championship belt changes your life a little bit. What's it been like the last 5 months as a world champion?
It's been nice. I accomplished one of my goals, to be UFC champion. So that's always nice when you do that. I was able to buy a new house, get out of the house that got devastated by Hurricane Sandy. Had a private chef for the past 3 weeks. Life's good.
Who's springing for that? That coming out of your prize winnings, the chef?
Yeah, no, it's all through me, through the last fight. So happy to say thank you, UFC. Thank you, Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta. You guys are great.
What is the thing you want him to make you? What's the top thing that he makes you? The chef.
He made me a curry chicken with mango and like this a quinoa with some cool things mixed in there. And you know what he made? I told him, I said, the one vegetable I don't like is Brussels sprouts. So then my wife goes and gets Brussels sprouts because he said, get Brussels sprouts. And they're the best vegetable I've had in my life now. Really? He put like honey in it and all different types of things. Hopefully it was good for me, but I loved it.
Well, sure, you candy anything. It sounds great.
It sounded great.
You come to UFC from a wrestling background, All-American at Hofstra. How do you end up in a big fenced octagon from the mat?
Yeah, after wrestling at Hofstra, I wanted to, try out for the Olympics in 2008. Ended up getting injured. And from there, it was kind of, I felt like I was in the prime with my athleticism, and I knew I had a lot of potential. And I saw all these wrestlers doing great in mixed martial arts and making a living for their families. So I said, you know what, I always felt like I was a fighter. Let's do this. And I gave it a shot, and the rest is history. There
was a brief moment there where wrestling looked like it wasn't going to get thrown out of the Olympics. What do you think when that happened?
It was terrible. It was a scary moment for wrestling. It was a kick in the butt to wrestling, and I think it woke up the sport. And it's one of the greatest sports there are. And I'm glad it's going to stick around. We have an Olympics. It's going to be around for a long time.
It would be hard to imagine the Olympics without wrestling. I mean,
yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, wrestlings are on the urns there in Greece when they started the whole thing. All right, lightning round for you. Let's try to get away from the whole fighting thing. See if you have more diverse interests beyond that. If you weren't fighting, what are you going to be doing?
Phys ed teacher, probably. I also had my psychology degree, so I could have been a psychologist. I'll stick with that. It sounds better.
Let's combine the two, phys ed and psychology. Is it okay to play dodgeball?
No, absolutely not.
Come on.
Not these days. Not in physics.
Right, but in your gym class, would you let them play dodgeball?
When you were a kid, gym class, they called it, and yeah, you were allowed to play dodgeball, but not anymore. No.
All right. Favorite athlete?
It switches all the time. I go from Tim Tebow, RG3. He's had a bad year, but I'll stick with them for now.
He's had a better year than Tebow.
RG3
at least got to play.
I'm going from year to year. I started with Tim Tebow, and then the next year I'm going with RG3, and then this year I'm going with John Vellante. He's a UFC fighter, and No one knows him. He's just one of my best friends and main training partners.
I was going to say, what a kiss up.
And he's here, so I had to do that to him.
All right, give me your favorite sports team. I don't care what sport it's in.
Broncos.
Okay. More Tim Tebow.
Come on.
Yeah,
Tim Tebow was there.
Just rolling that around.
You know,
Tebow, see how that worked?
Yeah. My aunt married into the family that used to own the Broncos. Gerald Phipps, only non-player to ever be inducted to the Ring of Fame. So I have to be a fan.
That is old school.
Yeah.
Holidays, favorite Christmas movie?
Oh my gosh, Bad Santa.
Thanks, Billy Bob. There you go. Chris Weidman, good luck December 28th.
Thank you.
It's the UFC middleweight title fight with Anderson Silva. And again, no relation. Anderson first name, Anderson last name.
Better be.
You and I are good.
All right, cool.
All right,